agenda is, where are we? Committee discussion on the development of preliminary and final design for reconstruction of West Street from Eagle Street to Quay. And presenting is Mr. Patel from DDC, and I don't know if are you gonna mention anything?
I'm here for questions.
Okay. Huh?
Is it too warm in here? You want to put the air conditioner back on?
Sure. And Mr. Ted Wright from New York City DOT is also here for questions. So we could begin, please.
Okay. Actually, my name is Nitin Patel from DDC, and today, actually, we don't have anything to present. The presentation that we want to give you is the outline of the project. When we wrote to community board, we wanted some input from community board, and what it meant was that we are starting the project at preliminary design phase. This project actually, Ted is here, and this is his project. He's from DOT, and this whole project was the result of all the workshop that they had year ago. But when DDC came on board, we notified you saying that we are starting the preliminary design. Now, from preliminary design, it's going to take time until our consultant prepares the backup data, and when they have some type of presentation, then we're going to come back. What we want to do today is, we want to make sure that, community board does not feel left out, because our reaching out to community board was, we are looking for an input from community board to see if when we're doing the reconstruction of that street, do you want us to look into any concerns that you may have. If you don't have any, that's fine too. But to give you an example, if you want to have a traffic light with a left turn signal, that needs some type of study, right? So any concern that you have within the West Street between Eagle to Quay, we would welcome to have it while we're doing the preliminary design, so we can also substantiate your needs along with our study. That was the purpose of that project. And I also want to assure you that, that we won't only notify you of the progress of the project, but you're also part of the approval process, which consultant Linda Reardon is going to walk you through the process of the whole project. She has some schedule along with it. So.
Well, I prefer to use the colored one. But as Denton said, we're at the beginning of our design project for it's a capital project for the reconstruction of West Street from Eagle to Quay. Where we're at right now is the preliminary design phase, which we started in March of this year. And the first things we do are the topographic survey. You may have seen our surveyors out there measuring the sidewalks, doing a detailed mapping of the street. That's almost complete. I jump up to the top. One of the big things we do is the traffic study program. As part of our data gathering effort, we conduct a traffic count program where we count the vehicular traffic on West Street and the adjacent streets, and that data we will use later as we're assessing the needs of the project and the feasibility of various concepts that are being studied, because we want to make sure that that the traffic, all the different modes of traffic, can be accommodated and continue to be accommodated. We do a lot of other stuff. We go out, we take photographs of the entire street so that we have full documentation, and if we want to think about, well, where exactly was that driveway, our survey shows it, but we also want to look at it and give it a reality check. We use the photos a lot. You can see on here we do a vault study. That's to document which buildings may have vaults underneath sidewalks to make sure that we don't impact those during construction. subsurface exploration program. That is taking deep soil borings so that we know what type of soils you have there, so that we know what type of roadway pavement to design. So these are all the basic things that we do at the beginning of every capital project, and all of those things happen pretty much in the first 6 months. You know, somewhere about 3 or 4 months into it, once we have the topographic survey, we start to put pen to paper and start to think about what the schematic design would be. Once we have an idea of some concepts, and we have to come up with various alternatives, that's when we would come back out to you and at a community board meeting, meet with you, show you what we're thinking, and hear from you what you think and your reaction to those initial concepts. We refine our designs based on the input we get from you. We refine our designs based on what the traffic study tells us, and we move forward each time advancing the plans a little bit more. So that preliminary design phase, as we call it, pretty much takes up the majority of this year, the remainder of this year, and is completed once we get sign-offs from, once we've coordinated with you, and also various other agencies that we have to start talking to. Many of the groups within DOT, we have a lot of back and forth with them also. So then hopefully towards the end of the year, we would start what's called the final design process. During that time, we start to think a little bit more about details, about materials and how things would look. And so our next time when we come out to you, which according to the schedule would be in the early part of next year, would be when we have fleshed things out a bit further. We at that point would have a preferred alternative, and we'd start talking to you about materials and back and forth and ideas about how the street would actually look. And at that point we start doing visualizations to give you a sense of how it really would look. We also have to coordinate with PDC along each step of the way. That's the Public Design Commission. So you can see on this chart, we didn't put on every single agency and group that we coordinate with because there'd be too many dots. But these two, and you can see that PDC also reviews the project at various stages. We're looking at, as we do the design, we're looking at accommodating all the different users of the street, all the different users of the roadway, the sidewalk. The street has, one of the ideas is to accommodate bicycles. We don't exactly know how, but that is one of the concepts for this street. Once it gets further along, then we start talking nitty-gritty. We start talking about construction, and then we come back out to you again, and it's a different type of conversation. It's more about, we explain what are the different construction activities. We try to give you a sense of how they will happen, how traffic will be maintained, how parking will be maintained. And DOT really holds us to a very high standard of not impacting the public impacting the public as little as possible during construction.
And at the same time, if there are any special needs of the local residents, that's also get taken care of during that time. So.
Any needs or issues, we'd love to take any of that at any stage during the process. Anytime you think of it, so it's never too early or too late to tell us some of the issues that you see coming up, or some of the activities or operations that you have in the community. Towards the end of 2012, the project would be developing the construction documents and getting the project ready for bid. There's a 3-month phase where the city bids the project and selects the contractor, and then the construction would start in late 2012, running through 2013. So that's the planned route for the project, and that's a typical schedule. would love to take questions if you have any questions at this point.